Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to get an energy update and some channeled messages for you. I'm really excited to do this one. We are bringing out our Sacred Unicorn deck, which I absolutely adore and love. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, and this incredible tribe. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if this should happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you would like, comment, and subscribe below. And as always, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would truly love to see you over on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our prayer for this reading. I may have to change this candle out soon, but let's get into this prayer and we'll get this reading underway. Hey, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this channel. I ask that you help us step up into our power, to know that even if we are experiencing difficulties, or if we are experiencing suffering, or if we are experiencing pain and setbacks, that you can help empower us and that we can help empower ourselves, that we can tap into our highest self and our intuition, our discernment, our understanding, and our knowing, that we can guide ourselves back to a place and a space of light and love, that even though the world may seem like it's closing in on us, that it is darkness that's about to swallow us whole, that we are the light and that we can choose how brightly we shine, or if we allow a situation, circumstance, person, or place to diminish our light. I ask that you help keep this memory strong held within the forefront of our consciousness, so that even if we should happen to stray, even if we should happen to falter, that you bring us back with spiritual reminders, with synchronicities, and with clarifiers along the way to help motivate and inspire the light within. As these words are spoken unto this reading and onto this space and among this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. So let me go ahead and get this set up out of the way. Maybe if I can get it in the little clip. Okay, we got it. We're good. All right. So I've already shuffled these before we got started. So we're going to go ahead and get with it. So source for pile number 1, what unicorn oracle card will help us better understand the energy update and channeled messages for pile number 1? Energy update and channel messages for pile number 1, source. Okay, thank you. And for pile number 2, source, what unicorn oracle card will help us better understand for the energy update and channel messages for pile number 2, source? Well, energy update and channel messages for pile number 2. Pile number 2, energy update and channel messages, source. Okay, they want that one. Thank you. And source, what for pile number 3, what unicorn oracle card will help us better understand the energy update and channeled messages for pile number 3? Thank you, source. All right. On the bottom, strange fruit, embrace your differences. So these cards are a lot more in depth than just what's said on the card, but I think that's cute. And with number 12 connecting with the hangman, right? Our perspective, seeing things from a fresh perspective, seeing things from a fresh perception too, like changing our perception of what we thought was. So let me make sure that these are in frame here. Okay, if I can get them straight there. I got slipper fingers today. All right, for pile number 1, we've got this beautiful piece of green advert. Wow, I promise you I know what this is. I just can't get it out right now. Green aventurine. Okay. Pile 1, you get to choose from green aventurine. Okay. Pile number 2, you get to choose from this beautiful piece of yellow jasper. And pile number 3, you get to choose from this piece of, I believe it's called tanzanite. I believe. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. With that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful green aventurine, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on your energy update and channeled messages from Source. I do want to say first off, thank you so much to anyone and everyone that continues to be a part of this incredible tribe, a supportive part of this journey and this channel. I'm so honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if this should happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you would like, comment, and subscribe down below. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what your energy update is. So Source, what is the energy update for pile number 1? What would you like us to know? What is the energy update for pile number 1, Source? What is the energy update for pile number 1, Source? Oh, okay, so we've got Aries, the sun, and the second house. So we're looking at finances, things that make you feel abundant and stable. So definitely a focus on your finances and self-care. This is where we want to go at. Beginning again is what I just heard. Like, it's okay to begin again. I feel like sometimes what has happened in your journey is that maybe you've gotten really used to having a routine and you've really poured into that routine, and then maybe you've fallen off the wagon and you haven't been sticking with your consistency and feeling guilty about that. And Source is saying, like, right now, energetically, it's okay to begin again. You've learned so much from your prior experiences, and that has definitely built up your courage and your confidence, and it has made you feel empowered, and you haven't lost that. It's just that when you're letting negativity overrun, it can really bog down those feelings of freedom, because it's like, oh, I've gave up on myself, or I didn't keep together with this, or I didn't maintain my routine, or I wasn't super consistent, or I said I was going to show up for 30 days every day for 30 days and I didn't show up for 30 days. I showed up for 25 days and I'm beating myself up for it. Look, we're human, okay? We are not robots. And I'm glad, right? Because there's always an ebb and flow to life. Some days you're going to be very, very active and ready to take on the world. And other days you are going to draw back within yourself. And what Source is pointing at here is to find balance within both of those energies. That even if you have fallen into that receptive energy and that, integrative energy, that you will rise again like the sun. You will come out of that energy once again. And so your energetic update here is really focusing on how can you bring a sense of celebration to yourself for the things that you have accomplished up to this moment. Okay, 333 on the clock. A lot of synchronicities coming in here. You have such a creative energy about you. I feel like your focus has been taken off on like trying to compete, maybe not with others, and maybe in some cases, yes, but I feel like you definitely been competing with yourself. Like maybe you set a 30-day challenge, and this is just the example they're giving me. Okay, like you set up some sort of routine or challenge or, schedule for yourself, and you had achieved that in the past, but for some reason recently you did it again and you didn't even get to the end goal of it, or you got to the end goal of it, but you noticed that there was a lot more times where you weren't capable of doing everything that you wanted to do, or you just didn't feel up to it. You're saying, you know what? Sometimes nature has off days too, but that doesn't stop the trees from growing, does it? No. It doesn't stop the birds from singing. No, it doesn't. They flow with the good and the bad. And that's what Source is saying here energetically. And it doesn't have to be any kind of exercise challenge. This could be something at work. This could be something in your personal life. This could be something with school. This could be something with your family, whatever it is. It just feels like you had scheduled something or you had set something in motion and it didn't quite go as you planned. Like there was something here. And so the focus is asking you to bring back that focus to the things that you have completed and knowing that it's okay to begin again. Let's get some tarot on it. We're going to get the good and the bad, the channel messages the Source would like to bring through here. So Source, what channel messages for this energy update would you like to bring through for pile number 1? What channel messages would you like to bring through here for pile number 1, Source, for their energy update? Okay, thank you. What would you like to bring through here for pile number 1, channeled messages for this energy update? What would you like to bring through for this energy update and channeled messages for pile number 1, Source? What messages do you have for pile number 1? All right, thank you. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Oh, we have the 8 of coins in the upright here. So you have this opportunity to really build something consistently. Really, like the 8 of coins is an interesting card, right? Because it can talk about work, but it can talk about conformity, but it can also talk about consistency. And so I feel like in context to your reading, it's really talking about here this energy of maintaining consistency. Like even if you miss a day, even if you miss a week, if you continue to show up, you're going to see results here. Right? Yeah, but you're extremely harsh on yourself here. And so Source is saying, like, don't let yourself or even other people say that you're not worthy or deter you from what it is that you want to. So even if this is, I keep hearing broken promise. That's like something that has been coming up. It even came up with the dice. I didn't say it then, but it's coming up again. And so Source wants me to bring it up. So maybe there's like a broken promise here that like you had to break a promise because of another emergency or a situation or something that came up. And through that, you weren't able to do what you said you were going to. And again, this is a very specific message. So this isn't going to resonate with everyone, but that's what's coming through right now. And they're saying to not be so harsh on yourself, or if someone is being super harsh with you because of a broken promise, that it's okay to kind of take a step back and begin again, right? Reevaluate what's going on in the situation, right? Sometimes people are really harsh without knowing the entire situation. Okay, especially with the moon card here. Like there's a lot of other things here. There's a lot of other deciding factors going on here. And even in your personal life, even if it is with the routine that you were trying to set up, remember there are so many other factors that go into that. 808 on the clock. So we have 888, 333. 2 is a powerful number for you. So it's like embracing the duality, the light and the dark here. A karmic cycle that's coming through here is showing that sometimes you're very rough on yourself. When you set a particular regimen, you expect yourself to follow that. And while it's good to hold those expectations for yourself, what is harsh at the end of that, or difficult at the end of that, is when you begin to really manipulate yourself or make yourself feel bad or bring in a lot of negative energy here, which we see here with the King of Swords. This is something that continues to come up, and it's sometimes hidden from your subconscious, but your subconscious is trying to make this well known. And so the channel message that Source has here for you is, don't let yourself get yourself down, right? Like, can you say, instead of, oh my gosh, I'm so crazy, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, like, why did I mess this up? Can you say, like, wow, you know what? This one was really challenging for me, but I know that I can do this. Like, it's the way you change your perception of the situation. It's not that you failed. It's just that it was a challenge for you this time. And if you're like, well, it shouldn't be, guess what? We wake up as a brand new human every day, so you cannot truly compare today, yourself today, to someone that you were last year or even yesterday or even 10 years ago. It's just not fair to the person that you are today, because the conscious you today gets 24 hours to make this day count. And you can't compare today to tomorrow. You can't compare today to yesterday, because yesterday is gone. It's dead, right? It's in the past. It's dead. And the future hasn't happened yet, and actually never will, because the only moment that we have is now. And so you get 24 hours today to really make a change for yourself. And the best way to do that is to show up positively for yourself. It's not about not having emotions. It's not about always being this happy-go-lucky, oh my gosh, everything's great. Like, oh, I can't believe the world is so beautiful. It's so wonderful. It's rainbow farts and butterflies every day and sprinkles coming down from the sky. It's not like that. Right? It's not like that. There are so many ups and downs, and sometimes there's really good days and really bad days, but honoring all of that is what makes you a whole being. But when you actually have done something that's worthy of celebration, and all you're doing is beating yourself up because you didn't maintain an expectation, that's that competition here. It's like you're competing with something that's an idea in your head, and it might actually be an illusion keeping you stuck in a repeat cycle. Yeah, wow. So we start with the devil. Like, let's bring it out here. Okay, we've got the devil in the reverse. Okay, we've got the Page of Wands in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. This is really intense energy, like right off the bat. You know, and the devil in the reverse can talk about obsessions with money. It can talk about obsessions in general, addictions. The devil is really an interesting character, right? All around, in the upright or the reverse. It's not really the brightest card to have on the reading, right? It's not like the sun. It's really talking about something, though, that's hidden beneath the surface, right? Well, you see here this dark line. Let me hold this up here. When you see this dark line right here, right? You see this? This talks about being stuck in the abyss, all right? This talks about being stuck in the darkness of one's mind, okay? Why do we have it in the mind? Because right now, the bottom of the card is at the top. It's in the reverse. So this is our mind. This is our physical body. Okay, so we're not able to receive messages here because it's stuck in our mind. What's something that we've already traversed, with the feet being here? It's something you've already traversed. It's something you've already done, but it's still replaying in your mind. And the Wheel of Fortune connecting with Jupiter energy, Pisces, and Sagittarius energy here. You have Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sag, Virgo energy, Gemini, okay? So these are the signs that are coming through here, but with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, this is something that emotionally you're not allowing yourself to feel clearly. It's like more or less when the feeling arises here in regards to where you're at energetically. So there's something that has triggered you recently and you're not allowing yourself to feel it fully here with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And it's creating harshness, whether that's towards yourself, projection onto another, or others projecting back onto you. There's this sense of not seeing the situation clearly here. And with the Eight of Coins, now the Eight of Coins really takes on this bigger meaning of this is something that you have an opportunity to clear out from your karmic cycle so that what you're giving out comes back to you, right? And that's sometimes really hard for us on the journey. It's like we think we're clearing our karma by just being a good person. But being a good person, there's so much more to it, right? It's like you have this exploitation that's coming out, egotism, domination. This could be absolutely another person, and no means is it saying it's you. Is this not focused there? Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Right? And so this could be another person that you're dealing with, but we do have, it's like senseless behavior has its price. And difficulty in detaching oneself from an unhealthy bond. And to me, this is that energy of detaching oneself from a mental bond, something that you've had since you were a child here with the Page of Wands coming up, right? And it's like feeling like you had, it's interesting because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse can also talk about a huge decline after a period of luck. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is what goes around, comes around, but it's also equally showing periods of our lives. Sometimes we're down, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're in the middle. It's a cyclical process. But here you see Fortuna is usually the one turning the wheel, but here we see it's the thought process of the actions that you've taken that are turning the wheel, making you feel like you've lost something of yourself. And we've all been here, okay? This is something I have experienced. This is something that everybody on this journey has experienced, because we have really good periods on our journey where we're like super successful, we're super motivated, we're having all this good luck, and then all of a sudden it's like we hit a brick wall and we're like, face plant, broke our nose into the brick wall, like what the heck just happened? Right? And so in no way, shape, or form is this beating you up. It's just the energy update here, and the channel messages is clear. It's source saying, like, where are you mentally maybe accusing yourself of being something that you're really not, or mentally building up an illusion that's actually just that. It's an illusion, and it's keeping you away from loving yourself fully. Right? From loving yourself fully and from taking action to bringing better luck into your life. It's not, luck is not always about the actions that we take. And we see here with the Page of Wands at the center here that it's like asking to come away from this idea that every action that you take is what's going to bring you luck. Rather, it's a mind game in this world. In reality, we have to really, really become the conscious awareness of our thoughts. And here it feels like your heart is shielded right now from truly loving yourself because of a situation that's happened in the past with the devil, right? You're trying to like compartmentalize this. So whether you had abuse, or you had a failed relationship, or someone cheated on you, or a job took you for granted, or someone in life took you for granted, whatever it could be, it's like you're trying to compartmentalize the emotions there. And when you get triggered, you end up blaming yourself here. And Source is saying like, whoa, hold on, you're such an amazing energy. Why are you blaming yourself for that? Like, you can begin again. It's okay. Like, I'm not punishing you, but sometimes we think that Source is punishing us when we're punishing ourselves. And how unfortunate, right? Like, how heavy is that? It's just really sitting on my heart chakra really heavily here. And I feel like there's a lot of anger that wants to be seen. And sometimes you may just break down in tears. And it's like you think maybe at times that the tears are sadness. And Source is actually trying to point out that those tears are actually cleansing that anger that you're almost afraid to exhibit for yourself, right? Like, we don't want to project our anger. That's not the purpose of our journey, right? We want to go through our anger, and going through our anger means that we have to feel that in a way that's safe for ourselves and also safe for others. Sometimes we have to go by ourselves and really sit with that and say, wow, like, I really have experienced a lot in my life, and I'm really upset about these awful situations that I'm not detaching myself from. And I'm experiencing struggle here, and I'm experiencing a loss of fortune, what it feels like, something just falling apart time and time again. And I feel like it's all my faults. But with the moon we see here, it's something that is being purged from your subconscious. Likewise, it's something that's being asked to brought into the conscious awareness. So to become conscious of yourself means to begin healing this. So energetically, it's focusing on self-care and self-love and the things that you want in life. So we talked about finances with the dice, and that was something that came through. So that could absolutely be a job situation that you're dealing with or have had dealt with, right? This could absolutely be past energy, could be present energy, it could be energy that you're about to step into. It's just saying that in this light, what Source wants you to do is to know that you have everything you need to build a stairway to get out of this and to be clear for yourself, and that they will help you along the way. But sometimes we forget that we want Source to do all the work for us, and that's not how it works. We really have to show up for ourselves here, but not to blame ourselves when we have a bad day. Look, Pile 1. If no one has told you, I'm going to tell you right now, you are absolutely allowed to have a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year. Everybody does, okay? What is on our shoulders is the reminder that we need not stay there for forever, right? This too shall pass. This might be one of the craziest storms you've been through in your life, but this too shall pass. And sometimes that doesn't always bring comfort, but knowing that you're not alone, that other people do go through this, that's something for me at least that has always brought comfort. Like, wow, it makes a huge difference knowing that I'm not alone. I'm not ostracized in on my journey. I'm not ostracized because I'm different. It's just that this is what it is to be human. We're going through something really difficult, and having to deal with that and to bring a sense of self-care here. It's almost like you've turned your heart on yourself. Like I don't want to love myself, because how can I love myself when I've gone through an abusive situation, or someone else has made me believe that I can't love myself because they taught me through their love of me, or their version of love through me, they taught me that I wasn't lovable. And it's like, you are lovable, and you are worthy, and you are deserving of all good things, Pile 1. You truly are. And look, we have water here with Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We have spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. And for this to come out, again, pointing towards, we don't have Cups cards here, but we did have the Moon card. It is showing this is a deep emotional purge. Look, it moved, and Pisces is right underneath that. Intimacy, intuition, and compassion. And the Moon is Pisces energy as well. So Pisces energy, it could be a Pisces that did this to you. You could be a Pisces. You could have Pisces Moon, Scorpio or Cancer Moon as well. And sometimes when you have a watery moon, while it makes you super intuitive, and it does, and you could possibly hold psychic abilities with that moon, it can also be one of the roughest moons to have because it's so emotional, right? Just, it's like not only is the moon an emotional placement, but then to have water on top of it, which is extra emotional. It's like, okay, here we go. I have a Scorpio moon and I'm a Pisces sun, and so I get that. Okay, like I understand that. And it's like this energy of just being overwhelmed by the past and just doing your best to dust it under the rug. And Source is saying, like, your energy, you are still that confident, bright, empowered, excellent, amazing, wondrous being. And it's like something that's happened to you has made you feel like you're not worthy of those titles anymore. And it's like you were always those titles. Not even worthy. You just were, because you are love. You are loved and you are supported. We be of generous spirit. And I feel like this is for self, but also to let the lion roar within you. Like, let yourself be mad for a minute. Let yourself feel anger. Anger is kind of one of the weirdest emotions that we have, because there are some people who relish in anger, and then there are a lot of people, especially if you're an empath, there are a lot of people who think that anger is like a terrible emotion to feel because it doesn't make us feel good, right? Like, we have prosperity, but this is where you'll find freedom. It's like that prosperous energy, right? And so it's like understanding that you're human, so you have all the emotions too, pile one. Just because you're an empath, that doesn't give us a free card out. Like, we don't have a get out of anger free card. Like, that doesn't exist for us. It just doesn't. And so it's like remembering, but I keep feeling there's like a lot of anger here. I feel like both your root chakra and your sacral chakra are very blocked, or very much closed off. They're not operating at full capacity here. So there's this feeling of disconnect from the world around you and a disconnect from your emotions. Okay, we have icebergs submerged. Yeah, this is like only the tip of the iceberg, right? There's only 10% that we're seeing here. And I feel like maybe that's why it's so scary for you to feel these emotions. Whatever they are, it might not necessarily be anger. It could be fear. It could be sadness. It could just be, being bothered and upset, whatever it is. But it's like, we're only seeing a little bit here coming through. And it's like, whatever's underneath is a lot bigger. And that's what it feels like to you. It's like, I'm only seeing a tiny bit. And there's like this 90% that we're not seeing underneath the surface. And if I let that 90% emerge, then the whole world is going to come crashing down. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? Because it won't. It won't. But you'll feel a lot better. Look, moon energy once again. This is the completion of a cycle for you. And again, with moon energy coming out once again, I do feel like we are pointing towards, this is your moon placement is playing a hefty role here in this situation. So definitely check out your moon placement. If you don't know, take a look at your natal chart and understand more about yourself in that way. But also letting go of your emotions, like something about the way that you feel emotionally is being inhibited here. And it's like that could actually be inhibited in your moon sign. So depending your placement on your moon sign as well, okay? Believe in yourself. I love that this came out. Sorry, I got a mouthful of incense smoke, and I was like, whoa, okay. Exactly. Stop beating yourself up. Source wants you to say you're about to come into a very prosperous energy, but if you don't move into this prosperous energy, you can't embrace the prosperous times ahead, because you'll still be trying to fight this old cycle, and it wants to be done. Like, your spirit wants to be done with it. Your soul is trying to purge this from you. It's like everything subconsciously is trying to throw this into the conscious mind, and it's just something it's you've run away from, or you've hidden from for so long that you're used to saying no. Like it's like your ego just takes over and says, oh, this is really uncomfortable, we're just going to shove that back down. And so we have to become completely conscious, get out of our subconscious. We have to really become conscious of it and say, wait, hold on. Why are we shoving this down? And why don't we take a look at this? And when the ego says, because there's so much here, it's scary, it's awful, I don't want to deal with it. And you can say, yeah, but we're not in that situation anymore. I'm here to protect myself, right? It's just that reminder. House 9, spiritual growth. This is where you're going to have a huge exponential growth on your journey. And we see that with the prosperity card as well. Right underneath that, we have wisdom with owl. And then we have the sacred ibis with learning. And I'm just going to draw one more because we have the watcher with snow leopard. This really feels like becoming the observer, the watcher, the seer. Okay? You're going to gain a lot from healing this part of yourself. And I'm not saying it's going to come overnight. Look, underneath the moon, we have the earth magic and the volatility. So again, pointing towards this anger. And to nurture that anger is what these two cards are saying together. To nurture that anger is very vital for you. You're not going to heal from it tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight. But once you begin, you'll be able to walk through it one step at a time, okay? Purpose. We have shark energy here with your purpose. So there's something about you healing this part of yourself that is going to skyrocket you right into your path of purpose. So let's take a look at the Unicorn Oracle card here. It's the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle deck, if you're wondering what it is. Ooh, we have Rediscover the Sweetness of Life with 15. Wow. Oh, I love that message already. Let me grab this from the book. We're going to read it and see what does Cherish have to say for us today. All right. Look. For divination, it says the Cherish Unicorn brings a timely message. Be grateful for what you already have and cherish the gifts life has given you. This opens doorways to an even more beautiful life. The secret is being thankful. Have you ever noticed that when someone is grateful for a gift or a compliment that you've given them, you just want to give them more? It's the same with the universe. Gratitude literally changes your aura, your human energy field, and makes it even more beautiful. People love being acknowledged and appreciated. When Cherish appears, make it your mission to give thanks to your friends, your family members, community, to Earth for all the joyful things in your life. Thank your body for your continued good health and its ability to keep you joyfully alive. Appreciate and love your life, even if you don't feel like it, because focusing on being bitter and resentful only darkens your energy. Giving thanks for all the good things in your life and concentrating on them will bring even more good things to you. This powerful process will bring positive changes. So going through the darkness helps you to bring in the light. We're saying be thankful will help you overcome this anger. Remember, we're not trying to compartmentalize it and we're not trying to live there, but we need to acknowledge it and be grateful for the lessons that it brings to us. And in doing so, you get to experience the freedom of your soul. Okay? So this is what I see for you here, Pile 1. I really hope that this resonates. If you feel like this is your message, leave a moon emoji down below and say, I allow myself to traverse the subconscious mind so that I can free myself from the past. If it resonates as well, leave me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify. And you can even join as a member. I would love to see you over on memberships. If not, though, thank you for your continued support here. I am going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for giving us this message. I love you so much, Pile number 1. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of yellow jasper, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on your energy update and channeled messages. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey and a part of this amazing tribe. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. For those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if this should happen to resonate with you, it means so much if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is your energy update with the dice. So Source, what is Pile number 2's energy update? What would you like them to know today, Source? What is Pile number 2's energy update? What would you like Pile 2 to know for their energy update, Source? Wow, okay, we've got Libra, 7th house, and Pluto. Okay, so we're looking at relationships here. All right, so there's a huge transformation coming in regards to your relationships. Now remember, relationships doesn't always mean love relationships, right? Like it could be platonic, it could be business partnerships, it could be coworkers, it could be anybody. Okay, soul tribe. It could be romantic. But we do see here with an energy update, you have changed your own energy. Wow, excuse me. You've changed your own energy and you've raised your vibration and you've let yourself experience letting go of past experiences and expectations is what's coming through here. So there's a new balance here. They're seeing harmony within your relationships. They're seeing a peaceful way about joining into your relationships. So even if you haven't changed your relationship and you're experiencing like the same relationships that you've had, but what you've done is altered your perception of them and you've changed your energy in the way of showing up. And that has eased a lot of the tension that might have been there. So maybe there was a lot of resentment before, a lot of upset, a lot of feeling like taken advantage of, a lot of gullibility, like being gullible, a lot of, like believing what they had to say, or a lot of trying to just really end things here. It's like if you couldn't end it for whatever reason, because everybody's in a different situation, right? There's this energy coming in where it's like you transformed yourself, and in doing so, it brought harmony to you, and bringing harmony to yourself actually let go of a lot of this pressure. It's like pressure being removed from both my head and my arms, actually, not my heart, but my arms. Like the top part of my arms, almost like the shoulders, not quite the shoulders, but the upper part of my arms, like not feeling so tied in or like in a straitjacket, right? Like I don't feel so stuck in the situation anymore. I realize I don't have to put the energy in it like I was. I realize I don't have to do the things that I was doing. And so your energy is altered. And in altering, it's like you're calling in better relationships. So maybe you felt really good internally. You've built yourself up internally, but you haven't seen anything change externally. And I feel like that's about to change for you, and it's going to be like a very, very rapid change is what it feels like. Something that's going to come in. I keep hearing like a thief in the night. Like it's just going to surprise you when it comes in. Like somebody's going to reach out to you and you're going to be like, whoa, like I know this person, but I don't know them, but I know this person, but I know them. Like it's like this energy, someone's just going to like connect with you in that way. And you're going to be really grateful they did. Let's see what channel message Source has for you at this time with the tarot. So Source, what channel messages do you have for pile number 2? For their energy update and channeled messages. What channel messages do you have for pile number 2 here? Remember, anything can come out. So pile number 1 was pretty heavy. It was a great message, but it was pretty heavy. So just letting you know in advance. What channel messages do you have for pile number 2 here? Finding confidence again in yourself. Like confidence that, like, yes, I do deserve something good. What channel messages do you have for pile number 2, Source? No, this came out in pile 1 in the exact same way, in the exact same position. Okay. Let's see what's coming out. So Source, what channel messages do you have for pile number 2? And y'all heard me shuffling over here. In fact, the camera was shaking because I was shuffling and it flew out the deck. So what channel messages do you have for pile number 2? Alright, so we'll take this as a clarifying message. Interesting. I feel like here it's like you had an inability to detach from toxic relationships with the Devil coming out. We'll look at the bottom of the deck in just a minute, but I feel like that's what it is that you change. It's like realizing that they're toxic. They're not going to be with me on the journey. Like, that's okay. I'm just going to let them do their thing, and I'm going to go and be busy doing my own thing. And that's what it feels like here. Yeah, look, we have the 5 of Cups on the bottom with the 10 of Cups in the reverse. It's like something that where you felt like you didn't deserve to have good friends, good relationships, good emotional standing in your life. Like, you walked away from that, and it's like the change is that now you're networking. And people are treating you with respect, and people are honoring you, and people are like actually care about what you have to say. And you're like, wait, hold on. This is a thing? Like, people actually care about what I have to say? Yes, people do care about what you have to say. Yeah, so you made a very difficult decision here. Right? And the Lover card really does talk about having to make a decision between lust and greed and something that brings wisdom and virtue, right? And so it's like your lust and greed was going back to repeat cycles, going back to repeat situations. Like, you know, if you really had a lot of narcissists in your life, like always continuing to fall for the narcissist, right? Like sometimes it's really hard for an empath to not fall for the narcissist because they always say such good things. And it's like, even though you see all these red flags, you're like alert, 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 and you just don't want to listen to it because they make you feel so good in the beginning. And then the first thing happens. Maybe you went through time and time again where it was like you kept getting red flags. And every time that you, like, maybe it took you the first time 10 red flags, and then you were like, whoa, hold on, this is not for me. The next time it took you like 6 red flags, and you're like, whoa, hold on, this is not for me. Until you got down to 1 red flag, and you're like, nope, that is not for me at all. Like, your discernment has definitely gathered strength here. And so Source is saying, like, we're proud of you because you chose the side that was bringing you wisdom, even though it was a very difficult lesson. And it doesn't necessarily have to be narcissists. This could be any kind of relationships from your past that just didn't serve you. Maybe it was just you weren't in alignment with each other, or you were on completely different paths, because not everybody gets involved with a narcissist, right? There are some people who do, there are some people who don't, but this is just saying, like, whatever it was that you were attached to from your past, like, it could be people who were very childish and didn't want to take responsibility seriously, or people who were just using you for something, or people who just, you know, thought that you were a quick ticket in a hot meal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like whatever it was in your past, you've let that go and you made the decision that served you well. But it didn't come without its hardships and its scars that it left behind, because it made you feel like you had fallen completely from grace, okay? And through that, you've had to learn how to be courageous again in order to reconnect with people, which we see here with the 5 of Cups, which is the networking card. You're learning how to reconnect with people, build those boundaries with people, rebuild those connections with people. Yeah. This is some sort of relationship in the past. Which, going on the theme here, we see that you are the one that changed with Pluto energy here. You've definitely had some sort of transformation here. This is like, you know, whatever it is that you brought to the relationship that is deemed as good, this other person brought to the relationship that was deemed as less than good, let's just say. But it's like something that left you emotionally exhausted. It left you overwhelmed. Yeah, it could have been a marriage. Oh. Wow. Wow, this energy. So this could be a present marriage, but this might be something that is also going to be I just lost my train of thought, but it's going to be dissolved. Okay. This is something that's going to be dissolved eventually. With Justice here in the reverse, with the Hierophant, or the Pope, as you might say, because the Pope is actually what it is in my deck. But with the Pope and the Justice card here together, it's really this energy of someone who's trying to play politics in the worst possible way, so that they can maintain a level of status among friends, peers, people that know them, while behind closed doors, judgment of you doing something that they themselves are doing. And the first thing that came through was cheating. And that's, again, just an example, but that could ring true for some of you, where it's like your ex or someone that's been in your life has accused you of cheating, and you never cheated, but they cheated on you. And so it's like, if I deflect and put all the blame onto pile 2, then no one's going to see me for who I truly am. That's really what the energy is here. So whatever it is that they did, they were deflecting it and trying to put it on you, like you were the bad guy here. And it's something that is really difficult for you. And so the channel message here is that Source is saying that they acknowledge that you need to have a reprieve from this. But the reprieve comes from when you're brave enough to begin to look outside of this situation for people to connect with, and realize that not everybody is going to treat you this way. Like, this is something that you've called in because of a belief in yourself. With the 10 of Swords here at the middle of the reading, we see this energy of being stuck in your mind and not being able to let it go. And it's just a cycle that continues to repeat. It's just going around and around and around. And a lot of arguments, and a lot of upsets, and a lot of situations and circumstances that continue to cement this belief that this is what I'm worthy of. This is all that I have. And you know, here we see with the Devil, which can point towards obsession. It can point, you know, clearly only wanting money. This can point to a lot of different things. It can also point to not having the energy or the ability to let go or detach oneself from a toxic situation or relationship, okay? But here we see with the Pope, this energy of trying to have this excessive adhesion to conventions and outdated norms, just trying to maintain face. There's a lot of hypocrisy here, discrimination, and it also points to divorce. And with with Justice, we have this energy of bigotry, okay? Petty accountability, there's a critical judgment, guilty feelings, repressive control of self and others, and negative ideas blocking change and advancing. But with all of this coming together, it feels like there was a marriage here, okay, that dissolved or is dissolving or will dissolve, that is in this energy, okay, or has been in this energy, where it left you wanting and it left you feeling this being dominated by someone, this attraction to a dark and forbidden energy. It's like you couldn't help but be attracted to this. And when we say dark and forbidden, you can call it evil if you want, but in reality, it's just really low vibrational humans that pulled the wool over your eyes. You know, and there's really no easy way to say that. It's like they just one-upped you, and it's okay. Like, it's not like, oh, you should have been on your A game. Like, you should have been aware of this. No, that's not at all. Like, you know, I feel like we sometimes blame ourselves for getting involved with toxic individuals. And in reality, it's like what we blame ourselves for is not being aware of the signs when it came out. And that's why I was saying they're showing that you've had this transformation where you now you recognize the signs right away. Like, you're like, oh, hold up, nope, that's got to go. But it's only from the hardships that you've been through and the lessons that you've learned. And so Source is just saying that, like, you've done a good job, and we're showing you why your transformation has happened, and that even though it's been a huge burden, that as you continue to network, you're going to re-find this balance, this emotional balance. And at one point, you could be helping others to overcome these types of situations as well. Like, sharing your story and saying, you know what, I let go of the worst possible scenario for myself, and I was able to overcome it. And if I can overcome it, then you can too. It's like, it feels very painful. It feels humiliating. Like, that's the energy that was coming through. It's feeling humiliating. Like, feeling like I'm humiliated because I got together with this person. Like, they humiliated me, and they betrayed me, and they made me feel awful, and they just painted me out to be the person that I wasn't. And that's what Source is saying. Like, there's no gain in blaming yourself for the situation, there's two things that happen here. Part of it is that we connect with these people because we agreed to that before we were born, as a huge lesson for us to gain clarity on our own path. It could be a sense of us balancing out karmic energies from a past life. And equally so, it's to teach us a lesson of forgiveness and hope, right? That there is always hope and there is always room for forgiveness. But the main thing here is that I feel like you need to forgive yourself, pile 2. And that's the thing that's coming through really strongly. It's like having space to say, you know what? They got me. They got me. And I didn't know until it was far too late. And that's okay. I forgive myself for not knowing any better. Because you didn't. And in reality, if you did know better, pile 2, you wouldn't have gotten involved in that situation. So it's like you're blaming yourself for not knowing any better, for not having learned the lesson before that point. But you had to learn the lesson at some point. Because it's oftentimes a reminder of what we went through as children, right? Look. So I'm going to get a love card here. And we've got the slow down. It says pause and allow things to unfold. And I feel like this is exactly the energy that it brought you into, is slowing down. So what could have happened in regards to this connection is that you just sped to the end. Like, I'm going to get to the good part really fast. Like, I want to get to the end part really fast. And maybe it's something that happened so fast and it felt so good and it was so right when it was there, until everything went horribly wrong. And once the ring was on your finger, or the ring was on their finger, it's like everything just went so sideways and upside down, and a roller coaster ride that you weren't even buckled into, but you were holding on for dear life. Like, holy crap, what did I get myself into? And they're just saying that it's okay to take time to slow things down. Also, this is giving the sense of just letting things play out. And I feel like you're getting really good at that. Like, you're getting really good at just letting things play out. Like, there's no reason to rush into anything, because I don't ever want to go through that again. And being authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. Always let your authentic self show, because I feel like in this situation, you weren't free to be you. You had to be whatever this person expected you to be. And that's another thing that you're changing here. And I feel like that's been something that's been really difficult for you, is to be authentic when it comes to trying to connect with others. It's not that you struggle in authenticity. I do feel like when you're by yourself, you're very authentic, but I do feel there's this resistance to be authentic when you're connecting with others. It's something that, it's like, what if they don't accept me, right? Like, what if I get stuck in a similar situation where I have to alter myself to be what they expect me to be? So there's almost like this trepidation when you're going into a relationship, that I'm already just going to change myself when I go in. And that way then I don't get hurt, because it's like I can just say, oh, well, you know, they never let me be who I was. But it's really not them. It's the fear of being your authentic self with another person, because of how much suffering you endured with this situation here. We have house 2, like physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Like, the thing is here is they're saying you are worthy of being seen exactly as you are. You're beautiful in that light. Do you know why, pile 2, as it's 2022 on the clock? Do you know why? Because it's your light, and there's nothing else like it. And you're a unique, beautiful color on this canvas called life, and no one else in this world has the same color that you have. And you deserve to be seen. You deserve that to be seen. Yang, proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion with Aries, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy here. But that's what it feels like here. You're being urged to really network with new people. You have such a good discernment. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to be safe in these situations. People are not going to pull one over on you again. They're not. Why? Because you detect, you got a lie detector that's out of this world. Now, yeah, you had to struggle to get there, but it is next level. Let me tell you. So rely on that part of yourself. Trust that part of yourself. Trust yourself. Be at peace. Know that you've done the work, and in doing the work, you're calling in good for yourself. Okay. What else, Source, would you like to tell pile number 2? Whoa, okay, you're getting 2 of those cards. On the bottom, yeah, fog with veiled. It's like something's going to clear up here for you. Something that has been keeping you in the darkness, right? It's like just beyond the veil. Like, I just can't pick it out. I just can't see it out. Underneath that, we do have dawn and new beginnings. Excuse me, it's always darkest before dawn. So something is shifting here for you in regards to relationships. And the channel message that Source has is they are acknowledging the pain that you went through and reminding you that nothing is wasted, right? Nothing is wasted. It's like you go through everything in life and it gives you something of value, even if at the time it does not feel like it. You know, that's what a true blessing in disguise is. You know, it's like, from my own experience, I've gone through it with the narcissist, and I was abused mentally, emotionally, physically, and sexually for 8 years. And I thought that was the best of the best that I was ever going to have in my life. And it's like I had to leave, and that was the scariest thing that I've ever done. And I was like, this is like, it's not going to bring any goodness into my life, but that was the biggest blessing in disguise. And also, he was a huge blessing in disguise in my life because he taught me how to love myself and how to forgive myself and how to forgive others for the hardships that they bring into our lives, because sometimes they just don't know. You can say, oh, well, he was a narcissist. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's fine, but it's like, now that I've healed, I can actually see him as the wounded child that he is. I see that, because narcissists aren't born, they're made. But it's hard for us to accept that, because that's saying like, oh, so basically this person just acts this way because their life was hard. My life was hard and I don't act that way. But we expect others to show up as we do, and that just doesn't work that way. It just, everybody's so unique and different. Like I said, you're your own unique color and they're their own unique color, and that's the way they chose to show up. It's not personal to you. It's just very personal to them and where they're at on their journey. And now you get to make your dreams a reality. And we have this huge shift energetically with number 11. 56 is 11 in numerology. We have this huge energetic shift that's happening where now you can really focus on your dreams and what you want to bring into your life. And nurture yourself. Gaia with nurturing. It's so important that you love yourself. Look at all these purples here. All these purples coming out here. It's like having this new connection with the divine. So there may have been a disconnect with the divine when you were involved in this situation. And it's brought you closer to the divine. It's brought you closer to spirit. It's brought you closer to source, to God, to the Holy Spirit, to the gods, the goddesses, whatever it is that you believe in. It's brought you closer to the divine energy that flows through all of us. And in truth, it's brought you even closer to your higher self. And now you're able to see what it is that you do want and what you don't want, and ask for it to occur. Look, I can't make this up. Ceremony with invocation. This is literally about invoking the spirit. That's what this card is. It's invoking the spirit. It's brought you closer. But I got that from this is energy. And look, and then you have these two very similar colors coming out here. This is something that synchronistically happened in your life, showing that it happened for purpose. It was preordained. It was predestined. And I feel like you should know, Pile 2, that you didn't leave them unscathed or unmarked either. You left such an imprint of your beautiful soul on them that they'll forever be changed as well. And for some of you, that might bring a sense of, reprieve, and for some it might not. But just remember that we don't bump into each other's cosmos without leaving a mark of ourselves on everyone that we meet. And so it's something to keep in mind here. Let's take a look at your unicorn oracle card. It is the enchanted unicorn oracle, if you're wondering. what this is called. We have 1967, break your routine. Interesting energy already. It's like you let go of an old way of being, which was breaking your routine, right? So it says, look, I love this already. This card takes us back to the heady days of the late 60s, kicked off by the Summer of Love in 1967 and culminating the iconic Woodstock Music Festival of 1969. Between those 2 years, many in the Western world began to break free from conventional and stuffy societal rules, right? We had that with the bureaucracy coming through here, just trying to play a role for the status. It was a movement started by young adults who questioned the status quo and sought freedom of expression. They challenged outdated ideas and attitudes by growing their hair long, wearing outrageous fashions, experimenting with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They rebelled against authority. It was an intoxicating time that didn't last, but it did lay the groundwork for new and exciting ways of looking at life, and encouraged a more open-minded, less restrictive society. Individual and self-expression are now openly supported in most Western countries. Protests can bring about real and lasting change, and people in the Western world are free to find their own form of spirituality without having to cater to old-fashioned conventions. The 1967 unicorn appears when life has been dull and routine. It encourages you to try to find something different and bring a blast of fresh energy into your daily life. Explore an idea that seems outrageous to you, but that you've always wanted to try. You need to pick yourself up from the daily grind and see life from a different perspective, one that helps you break free from the herd. Okay, so it's like asking you to break free from what you've known, right? And I feel like that's exactly what they're showing here. Like, you're ready to, the energy is leading you to that, where you're going to break free. And with the Summer of Love, I love how that's coming out with this relationship reading. That's so synchronistic, everything that's coming up here. It's like you're breaking free from a routine of love that you used to invite into your life, and that's no longer going to be a thing for you. You're going to be changing it up. And in turn, you're going to experience some kind of love that's a lot different and a lot more expansive and a lot more suited to your soul needs than just to your physical needs and even emotional needs. It's going to be so much deeper than that, okay? I love this reading. I know you've been through a lot, Pile 2. I'm giving you such an energetic hug right now. Just remember, you are so loved. You are so loved and so loved and supported, okay? If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little ghost emoji down below and say, I connect with Spirit and Source after having gone through the journey I went through. And it would mean so much to me if you left a thumbs up and commented and subscribed below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for personal reading and I'll get you out further information. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatterlove Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, I truly thank you so much for your continued support here. I am going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. Remember how amazing you are, Pile 2, always. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this stone, which I believe is tanzanite, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's not turquoise, and I know it's not, I don't know, I just think it starts with a T. Anyways. Or if you were drawn to this card here, this is going to be a reading, your energy update, as well as channel message from Source. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that has chosen to be a part of this journey with me and continues to be a supportive part of this channel and this tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder we're all sharing this human experience. and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if it should happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. So that being said, let's hop to it and get into your message. We're going to find out about your energy update for pile number 3, Source. What is the energy update for pile number 3? What messages do you have for pile number 3? What is the energy update for pile number 3, Source? Wow, that was rolling. We've got 4th house, Aries, and Saturn energy. Okay, looks like you're about to become super determined on, and honestly, this sounded like healing your family roots. That's what I heard, was like healing. Came in like that, okay. So like healing family roots here, like really becoming determined and taking charge, and you're going to be a leader in your family. Okay, so your energy update, this is where you're headed. Okay, this is the energy that you're about to bring in. It's like you're becoming super disciplined, you're becoming decisive, you're becoming determined, you're becoming overall just very ambitious when it comes to your healing. Like, holy moly, what has been holding me back, and why has it been holding me back? You really feel like you're focusing on your blocks and the barriers and the things that maybe you've been trying to control in life, or the things that have had control over you, and really understand those and what they mean or how they play a part in your life, and let that go. Specifically, the relationship that you have had with your mother. But remember that this can also be equally so, because we have Saturn energy here, which connects with Capricorn, which is also the father. 4th house energy connecting with Cancerian energy, which is the mother. So you can have this imbalance between the masculine and the feminine energies that you're really trying to focus on taking action to heal. And being a leader, right? Like, when we say being a leader here, it's like being a leader in your family. Like, you're the one that took on the responsibility. You took it on and you made it serious, and you were like determined to let it go. And it's like, even if no one else is going to do this, like, I'm going to do it. And you're standing out now because of that. And people are like seeing how much you've changed just in the time that you've done this, whether it's been a short time, a long time, a mediocre time, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's like you have really changed yourself. And yes, there might have been some competition. Yes, there might still be some competition with family members, but what's really going on here is that they're not at the same level that you are, because you've taken it so seriously. And it's like, oh, well, if I do a little bit like what pile 3 is doing, then maybe I can catch up to them. But no, it's like when you choose to take on a skill and you choose to let that skill take up all of your free time, versus someone who's just dabbling in it here and there, you know, maybe dabble in a little poetry, a little, you know, Lego building, or a little rock star stuff or whatever. You know, when you dabble in it, it doesn't really go very far. You know, after a long period of time, yeah, but it's like if you really, like, every time you're at home and your free time, you're like doing shadow work, or you're healing, or you're bringing in self-care and self-love and really focusing on yourself, like, you just skyrocket to a whole nother level here, and they're seeing your discipline come through. And Source is showing here, like, your hard work is going to pay off. Okay, like, that's the message in the dice, is that your hard work is absolutely going to pay off. You are going to see rewards come from that. And we can have this pointing at fame and fortune, your path of purpose, but Saturn is also the planet of sacrifice and the tough love planet. So it's like, this has been very difficult for you on the journey to do this, because it's like feeling of solitude and not having people who were supporting you. Like, you could have had a very overbearing mother, very disconnected father. You could have had a father that was way too overprotective, and a mother that was very cold and distant. Okay, it's like these energies where it's like both parents, or maybe you only had one parent who tried to play both roles and just kind of came up short, you know, which is difficult, but they did the best that they could, right? Like, and sometimes that's hard for us to really look at. It's like, well, they messed me up so much. How did they do the best they could? Well, they did what they knew how. And that's the best that they could do because they didn't know anything else. And whereas maybe you're willing to go and find out another way of doing things, maybe they just didn't feel like they had that option. 555 on the clock, like it's an uncomfortable topic for you. It's a very uncomfortable place because it's like, yeah, look at this. We have the 4 of Wands and the 7 of Swords coming out as I split the deck. It's like you have persevered and let go of things that otherwise you wouldn't have let go of, but there's still this energy that's holding on. It feels like it's like an energy of blame, like they should have been better. Or maybe they were better with a sibling than they were with you, or you saw them being better with other people. Let's get some more. Yeah, seeing like someone being conceited here. Not you, but seeing them being conceited with the way they use their energy, the way they choose to show up. Source, what are the channel messages you have for pile number 3 here? It's been a slow process. I feel like this is something you didn't see until you got older. What are the channel messages that you have here for pile number 3, Source? Okay, they want me to stop. What are the channel messages that you have here for pile number 3, Source? Whoa, okay. They just want the top card. I guess they want that one too. For the channel messages that you have for pile number 3. Wow, okay, so yeah, we're just going to take it like this. We have the Popess and the 9 of Swords coming out. Yeah, it took you a long time to develop discernment in order to see the red flags here so that you could move away from them, right? To see how they were treating you, to see how they were acting. And it's like, and then almost like once you come into this, so this could have been the parent that maybe you had a really good relationship with, what you thought, okay, growing up, what you thought was a really good relationship with them. And then when you got older and you started healing, you're like, whoa, hold on. That was actually a really toxic relationship that we had. And so there's like this feeling of resentment that's coming through here. But we do see how you're letting it go and you're learning something different here. You're learning to trust your intuition. You're learning to trust the insight that you're being given. And through that, that's also helping you to discern energies that are around you, energies that otherwise you weren't able to see before. Or maybe you felt like you were putting it on the right people, but then realized that, wow, that person really wasn't anything like what I thought they were when I was growing up. They were entirely different. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Like we have the 7 of coins in the reverse. Yeah, with the Lover. Okay, so this is like a neurotic need for approval when it comes out in the reverse, and making a choice, making a wise choice to leave a situation and finally find happiness. So this could have been what was keeping you blocked, was because maybe you needed your father's approval or you needed your mother's approval. And, you know, don't ever beat yourself up for that, because that's a natural thing. Like, that's totally human to want our parents' approval when we're kids. Like, sometimes that's all many of us strive for, is just praise and admiration and pride from our parents. And a lot of us never receive that, right? And so it does feel like here you were doing that as a child. Definitely does feel like from the ages of 6 to 10 coming through really strongly here. But it's this energy of really seeing like, wow, I really thought I was close to this parent. I really thought, or like, this could be a caretaker. This could be a teacher. Someone that you wanted to see you for how good you were, how good you thought you were, right? And yes, I'm just going to say it, pile 3, you were that good. Okay, but when they didn't give that to you, when you realize, this is more like when the House of God coming out right here, it's like when you realize that they never gave it to you, but they breadcrumbed you, or they gave you just so little and it was never really what you were asking for. It was just a little just to get you to go away. Is like it all came falling down. Like, this is like a realization. What's peaking? Yeah, the Queen of Swords here showing you had to protect yourself. This is something you had to protect yourself from. You know, never feeling like, oh, well, I didn't have a neurotic need for approval. Look, that's society. It's society. If you grew up with without that, like, you got away from societal constructs, that's cool. But 99.9% of people experience this. This is not, you're not, you're not being called out here. No one's saying like, oh my gosh, you did the wrong thing. Like, no, that's not what this is. Like, this is just something, I just want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be understood. I want to be acknowledged. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands in the reverse. Wow. A lot of the connections today. No. So you could have come from another reading. That's why I said no, because we just had one, like pile 2 had a situation from pile 1 that came through, but it wasn't the same situation. And now you have a same card in a similar position that was in another pile coming through. And so, yeah, we see here, this is the reversal of fortune. With the 7 of coins in this position and these 2 in this position, the 3 of Wands in the reverse with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, this person knew how spiritually advanced you were, even from the time you were young. They knew that you had a gift. They knew that you were something special. And oftentimes that's what happens. The people who really attack us in life or really try to bring us down in life are the ones who see our potential before we ever do. But with the Wheel of Fortune here next to this, we see that your reversal of fortune was all due to this manipulative person. And the 3 of Wands in the reverse talks about a very manipulative person, a very tricky person, someone who tells lies, someone who gets away with what they want. And this is something that really blocked your emotional well-being, which in turn, at some point, disconnected you from how powerful your intuition truly is, pile 3. Okay, not that it completely disconnected you from your intuition, but how powerful it really is. Like your ability psychically, it's put you in a position where it's like you're having to learn how to rebuild that. And that's not easy, right? That's not easy. It's feeling like everything is a danger to you as well. Like almost feeling like every person that you invite into your life is going to bring in some sort of chaos, or feeling like every situation is just going to, what is that word, catastrophizing everything. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, the worst of the worst is going to happen. This is a mindset that's playing out. But you can see here with the Pope and the Knight of Wands that this is something that you're working to heal. Like this is something I feel like has come into your awareness with the Popess here. This is something that's come into your, it's like intuitively your guides have been pressing this upon you, like, hey, pile 3, this is something we have to focus on, because this is something that continues to bring in chaos and disruption and, you know, failed manifestations. And it's something that continues to put you into a loop, into a cycle of wanting to be seen by other people, by your boss, by your coworkers, by your peers, by your friends, by your family, by everybody. And you're focusing on why that is. It's like coming from this. It's like understanding that it actually was never your energy to begin with here. The channel message is that it was never your energy to begin with. Sources showing like this person just impressed it upon you so much because you actually respected this person as a child or when you were younger. Like you actually cared about them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's no, like I said in another pile, it's like there's no reason to beat yourself up for what was in your life, right? Is this just not focusing here? Okay, I think that's a little better. Maybe it is focusing and it's just my screen is dirty. I don't know. Whatever. We're just gonna go with it. Yeah, there we go. It wasn't in focus. It wasn't in focus for you. You know, when you respect somebody so much and you don't, you know, it's like that. When you fall in love with somebody, you don't want to see the red flags until you have to, right? And I feel like a lot of people go through that. It's like you have, there's like this hint of something that remains largely unknown right now, right? But you've learned how to set very strict boundaries. And through that, you've collected your wisdom and intellect and intuition, and you've been able to really lean into that and find balance with that. And there was a lack of independence when you were growing up, and you needed to rely on help and acceptance from others. And you know, that's just dependence. That's when we're in a dependent situation. Like, we can't help that sometimes, right? But it does sometimes put us into a position where we don't have what we need, or we're put into a position where we can't even ask for what we need because we get pushback from the people who we depend on, where we're asking for help, right? So there's this need to make a decision here. And this could have absolutely affected your relationships growing up, your friendships, your romantic relationships, right? It's like needing to make a choice to disengage from past influences here, okay? It's like inclinations of the heart correspond to the will of heaven. So you've definitely made a better choice here. And when you take these small steps, that's the visible sign of your inner desire and really leading you to your heart's desire. What your heart wants matters, and that's something they're wanting you to really continue to focus on. What your heart wants matters. And I feel like for some reason, there's this energy of this person still having access into your life. Like there's really no just like getting away from them right now. So it could be, again, if it's a mother or father, like it might not be in the cards for you right now to just kind of bunk out and be like, go take care of yourself for whatever reason. Everybody's situation is different, and we need to stop telling people like, oh, well, you should just leave. Like, yeah, you should, but some situations just don't set us up that way, and there's purpose for that. Everybody's going to experience a different level here, and so it does feel like you are learning how to have courage in coming into the situation by putting up putting your intentions out there. You have pure intentions. You are winning this fight against what once was a superior force, and you're seeing now that they're not actually superior to you. And you're putting this imperfect action into play here, and it's like they're no longer able to get to you the way that they once did. And I feel like what Source is saying here is they're proud of you for listening to your intuition here. They're proud of you for really listening to that intuitive knowing and those psychic senses that they were giving you, the downloads that they were giving you. Remember that the focus here, especially with the Popess next to the Wheel of Fortune here, is that we're saying is to really lean into healing your sacral chakra and understanding that what you feel matters. Like, this is your right to feel. It's okay to want to be seen by other people, but when we are in this place of like, I can only be validated when another person sees me, that's the toxic side of it, right? That is the shadow side of it. Needing approval from others so that I can approve myself. What they're saying here is to focus on that my feelings matter and what I feel matter, and I can approve of myself. And when I approve of myself, then I can be grateful when others approve of me, and I'm not shaken by when others don't approve of me. And that's something that's so profound here. They really want you to focus on, and they understand that this was a difficult situation, but you're the one that has moved the energy from that, from being stagnant and almost catatonic to coming into a place of understanding that you're the one that can put up the fight here. You saw the red flags somewhere along the way. You realized like, whoa, I really wanted this person to love me. I really thought they loved me, but now that I'm here, is that really love? Is it? And you become stronger because of it. I'm going to get a love card, but I also want to get a life and career card for you too for some reason. So I'm going to just let it be. Act as if your partner was here, whether you have someone in your life or not. Act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. So this kind of paints the picture a little bit further. It's like you ask yourself, what kind of love do you want? And it's like in asking yourself that, you began to recognize that, wow, like I definitely don't want what I thought I wanted. Yeah. Okay, so protection. You're being protected from deceit and from situations that no longer serve you. Lie low for a while and you will be shown the truth. Yeah, so you're getting protection in this situation. You've gotten protection in this situation for your whole life, even if it didn't feel like it. You've been protected, and we always are protected. Like, Source is always protecting us. Our angels, our guides, our ancestors, our spirit messengers, they're all protecting us. Like, if we all knew the army that stands behind us, like, so many less people would be so scared of this world, because they'd be like, man, I got an army that stands behind me and fights for me and fights with me. But you've definitely been protected, And part of that protection was making sure that you were never completely disengaged from your intuition, because it was like once you began to tap into that power within, you began to see the truth of the situation. And it's almost like I get this sense like this character here is like just pointing his head down, like looking down and just shaking his head like, wow, how did I not catch this sooner? And it feels like that's how you feel about it, but Source is saying like, no, it happened exactly when it was meant to. And so here we have expression. You need work that lets you express your creative self, and you could do well at writing, blogging, or career in communication. So you're meant to communicate this to others, your experience to others. So whether that's, through doing like a blog or like a podcast or a YouTube channel or TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or writing a book, whatever it is, it's like this happened because this was a part of your expression. This was a part of you tapping into this expression of yourself. Look at what's on the bottom over here. We have Chiron, hurt and heal. So we have the wounded healer. Like this is a part of the path for you. And I feel like that's actually a message that goes along with all three piles today, is that the wounded healer, the wounded warrior. Like having to fight for life just to survive. Like the flame, that candle has been holding on this whole reading and it just now went out. So also I do want to say, if you've watched all three piles, leave a purple heart down below. It's the Purple Heart Club. Say I made it. I know exactly what that's for. That's for those of you that watch all three piles. So we've got fire energy on the bottom, confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. This was to reconnect you with your inner flame. Like they thought they put your flame out, but in reality, they were just stoking the fire. Like they kept it on low burn. Like they did. They kept it on a low burn for you. They're like, nope, it's not going to go out. Not today. Why? Because you're meant for greater things. Like you're meant to help people through situations like this. And that's not always easy to hear. Yeah, see, it's like this is something that happened when you were a child. And we have Be Playful here with Sandpiper Spirit. It's like so important for you to reconnect with your inner child, because it's almost like this person deprived you of being able to connect with that part of yourself because you were so busy being in this energy of wanting them to see you. And so you grew up far before your time. Like you were probably told by people like, wow, you're so grown up. Like you act so old. You're so mature, but you're such a young child. Like that's partially why, is because you were always just trying to do the best that you could so that they would just say, hey, you did a good job. And it's like, if they ever said okay, and this is a big if they ever told you did a good job, like that would have been enough to sustain you for a while, but you still would have been striving harder. Like it wouldn't surprise me, pile 3, if you got like super good grades in school, if you were like in honors, if you were, in a lot of extracurricular things, if you took AP classes and excelled, if you were in honors in college and all these things. Like it would not surprise me, because that's the type of energy that's coming in here. It's like striving to always doing better. And then if you ever got a grade that was less than perfect, or what you saw, now I hear that Pink song, now I'm less than perfect for me. Is that Pink? I think so. It's less than perfect, I think. So check out that song. That might have even further messages for you in it. But it's like, if you got a grade that was less than perfect, like you spent all this time beating yourself up and like saying like, oh my gosh, like I'm so much better than that. Like, oh, now what is this person going to think of me? Like they're not going to say that I did good. Like they're probably going to get mad at me. Whether they did or they didn't, it was just like in your head, there was like this whole scenario that played out that was just very low, and how heartbreaking to have that be a reason that you're not able to enjoy your childhood, is because you were always trying to impress someone. And we see that the tough love, Saturn, it's like partially because of the situation that you were in, partially because Saturn's at play here, partially because it was the wounded healer coming in as well. It's like all these factors just turned into this massive chaotic roller coaster ride that just sent you down hell's lane, Yeah, be fearless and be bold. Be fearless and be bold. And then we have Elephant Spirit peeking out here, learning from the past. Yeah, it was all put into motion for you to learn how to be fearless and bold and be yourself. More importantly, be yourself. Be who you're meant to be. And stop trying to impress people. The union of the hearts, a love connection defies explanation, and it's bringing you closer to someone that's your love. We have number 28, which is 10 in numerology, and we have 10 with the Wheel of Fortune here. It's this energy like this is the completion of a cycle. This is all leading you to your path of highest good and light. Even though it was a rough situation, like they want to remind you that it happened for a very profound purpose, because without you being bold and fearless about who you are and the gifts that you have, pile 3, you would never call in this love that's going to meet you where you're at. They're going to come together like this. This is someone who's going to nurture, love, and care for you on the offset. If you're the divine feminine, this is if that's the divine masculine, they're going to nurture, care, and love you. If you're the divine feminine, this is someone who's going to protect and save you from situations. Like, I already hear someone, I don't need to be saved. No, they're there to protect you from those outside circumstances. Like, it's like a physical guide in your life that's here saying like, nope, we're not going to go through that. You don't get access to pile 3. You can't be in their life like that because they need their space from you. So if that's this energy here, they're going to be someone that steps in and just protects you, the provider, the stability, the strength in your life. And it's not that you need that, right? But they're going to provide a safe space for you to really come in as your divine feminine. And for those of you that are masculine, this is a feminine who's going to provide a safe space for you to really become the protector, the provider that you're meant to be, right? And it's interesting. It's like, oh, well, those roles should be interchangeable, but it's like they're those roles because those are the roles that just have been there since the beginning of time. Masculine is more active. It's more doing. It's more forward motion. Feminine energy is more receptive, more spiritual, more intuitive, right? And that's just the roles that they play. It doesn't mean that we can't interchange them, but that's just really the roles that are being at play here. And so there's a union of the hearts that's coming through here where you're going to have this beautiful connection with someone, whether that's a friend, a tribe, a soul tribe, a family member, or, and you can be like, ooh, I don't want to be, no, it's just saying a union of the hearts. It's someone who's going to meet you. Okay, they're going to meet you. It could be a love relationship, romantic, but it doesn't always have to be. I know the card is showing that it's a romantic relationship, but this is just a connection that it's like the connection that you've been waiting for. Not everybody wants love. Not everybody wants romantic love, but everybody wants a friend, right? So it could just very well be that friendship that you're asking for. Take it as it resonates for you. Look, conjunction. I'm done. Wow. Okay. A union merging and coming together. The union of the hearts. And we have conjunction. So yeah, there's definitely a union coming in here. You healing this and you go. It's like what Source's message for you is this saying that you going through all this hardship and learning that you have a right to be who you are in this moment is what's bringing you into this connection. Look, we have sextile, a combination of tension and flow, potential in a rewarding situation. So there's a lot of tension here, but there's equally so a lot of rewards that are coming because of this situation overall. Okay, so this is really a powerful reading. I don't know what I want to do here. I want to put this over here, though, for some reason. I know it wants to go there, but I think I want to do it like this. Yeah, okay, there we go. It feels better for some reason. So I don't know why, but it just does energetically. Let's take a look at your card. If you're wondering, this is the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle deck. I'm going to read this from the thing. We have Intergalactic in the Zone. 21. Let me see. What does this say? In the Zone. All right. The intergalactic unicorn is the artist's muse. It foretells of a period of heightened creativity and many wonderful ideas flowing into your consciousness. The first instinct may be to suppress the energy and dampen it down. Perhaps you have too much work to do, too many errands to run, too many other responsibilities. This unicorn whispers of another way. Even if it may not seem like it now, that idea could be a tiny gem that turns into something huge. Do what you need to do to get into the zone, that magical time when your focus is so keen it's like a laser beam and nothing else in the world matters. Intergalactic tells us to work with that energy, ride the unicorn of creativity when it shows up, and don't stop until you find the inspired energy dissipating. You'll find yourself in another world, a healing world full of ideas, dreams, and possibilities. Perhaps mundane duties like washing will be neglected, and it might be cheese toasties for dinner, but it's important that you capture those incredible ideas and work with them, lest they be lost in the ether. Honor your imaginative mind by giving it the attention it deserves. And remember, completed is better than perfect. So that's what they're saying. Like, it's like there's someone that's coming in your life that's going to be a muse, that's going to help you express what has happened to you in a very creative way. Remember, it doesn't have to be necessarily a recounting of your story. It's almost like though your life story is the expression you need to get out. And so Intergalactic really feels like this confirmation that whoever's coming is really going to be the muse for you. Like, they're going to be the inspiration that gets you in that zone. And you're just going to be like, oh, I got to go create. Like, I got to go buy. And they're going to be like, go do your best. Like, you're so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Like, oh, you inspire me so much, you know? And you're going to be like, oh, thank you, source. Thank you so much for this person. Thank you. Like, oh, I got to go. It's like, that's what it feels like. It's something really exciting. Like, I got goosebumps right now. Like, oh, for me, it's so exciting. But it's been difficult. And they're acknowledging that. But you've healed yourself to so much of a degree that life is shifting for you, and it's like Saturn's not going to be at the forefront anymore. Like, you're coming into a period of luck, you're coming into a period of just peace and harmony is what it feels like. And I'm really glad that you're pile 3, because it kind of like goes that, right? It's like stepping stones here. But this is what I see for you, pile number 3. If you feel like this is your reading, actually do the unicorn emoji down below and say, I let my past become the reason I succeed in the zone of creativity. And if it resonated, please leave me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links down below in the description box. You can email me for personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatterlove Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. And if not, thank you again for your continued support here. I love you all so very much. You guys are so incredible, and you mean so much to me. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. I want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this beautiful message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.